Road, Waterford.
Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Liz Reddy. Today's top stories. Protesters are preventing traffic from entering the Dawn Meats factory in Granny at the moment. Organisers of the All Together Now festival have been called on to deal with the issues that led to traffic problems over the weekend. And in sport, Waterford FC suffered defeat to Derry City in the EA Sports Cup. There's reports that all traffic is being prevented from entering a meat factory on the Waterford-Kilkenny border this afternoon. There's a large Garda presence outside Dawn Meats in Granny, where farmers have been protesting since last Tuesday. They're unhappy about the low prices being paid to them by Irish factories. Protests are continuing at ABP in Ferrybank and at other locations across the country. Up to 50 farmers prevented trucks from gaining entry to Dawn Meats this morning. Sean Harris is the Vice Chairman of the Waterford branch of Beef Plan.
There is tactics being played here now at this stage. You know, they're coming out and saying this is private property and they're doing all lots of sort of things. But I mean, the bottom line here is the farmers are here. They're here fighting for their futures and for their families, and they're not going away. Simple as that. Simple as that. This is only going to get resolved by talks with the people at the top, and that's the bottom line here.
Pat Kerwin from Kilmacthomas says he's been stood down as spokesperson by the protesting farmers.
The protesters have decided to step up the protest to stop all traffic going in. I've asked them on behalf of Beef not to do that, and they told me go away.
So it looks like these farmers are going to do this on their own steam now. Okay. Yeah. We have to abide by the rules and guidelines of Beef Plan, and we have to abide by the law, you know. So we're going to do that, but we can't control what these farmers, if they're saying they're not leaving, well, we can only tell them what they have to do. After that, it's up to each individual farmer what he's going to do.
Sean Harris says one lorry was allowed into ABP in the past week.
One lorry was left in on animal welfare grounds, you know. And the situation we're saying here about animal welfare, it is an animal welfare issue here now with these cattle, and it's the responsibility of the lorry driver that has these cattle on his lorry. The option of coming in here is not an option for him now, so he has other options. And we're providing even options for him. It's up to him to take it. They're his responsibility on his truck. And they're using all this sort of argument, but it's no good to be using that argument because he has options.
The organisers of the All Together Now festival say they'll continue to improve and evolve it. They say they understand the frustration the long traffic delays caused and they'll make it right. The 3-day festival got underway at the Curramore Estate in Portlaw in County Waterford on Friday, with the campsites opening at 10 a.m. However, the volume of traffic appeared to overwhelm organisers and led to waits of up to 4 hours in traffic for some people. 700 camper vans were due to arrive at the site on Thursday evening. However, only 100 entered at that time. Gardaí say some signs were stolen while others were turned in the wrong direction. Local Sinn Féin councillor Declan Clune says local expertise should be used.
So I would hope that they would consider maybe bringing a few members of the community on who know the area, know the roads. They might have a suggestion or two. Nobody knows everything, but I think, you know, we're delighted to see the festival back. We do hope it'll be back again next year, but we do also hope that people don't have to endure several hours stuck in a car. All the traffic is heading into one gate, which seems to be what's happened there last weekend. Like, you know, again, it's very positive for Portlaw, very positive for the wider Waterford community. So, you know, hopefully the few little niggly things will get sorted out for next year.
He says it was a PR disaster for the organisers and he hopes everyone can learn from it.
There seemed to be a generic kind of PR statement. There was nothing there to really address the concerns of the people that were stuck in traffic, whether it was just regular updates, whether it was getting more stewards out. That seemed to be a major problem there, the signage and the lack of stewards. The thing that did save it was the fact that the festival itself was so good. It was so unique. It was so... it was just brilliant. But I hope we can learn from this. I hope we can move on. I hope it'll be even bigger and better next year.
Centre Manager in Portlaw, John O'Leary, said the event did provide a boost for his business.
It was good in fairness. A lot of tourists came mingling with the locals and brought a bit of buzz to the village. Heavy traffic. It was at a standstill at the roundabout there for a while, and I know there was heavy traffic coming in from Carrick and from Piltown and all those places. Well, we got a little bit of a buzz. I think a bit of negativity regards the traffic and one thing another, but overall I think a lot of people was happy enough with it. You know, brought a little bit of business to the village and one thing another, and brought a little bit of business to the village. Yeah. So hopefully now we'll go from strength to strength from next year. Please God.
The family of a missing Irish teenage girl in Malaysia believes she's been abducted. Nora Kwara went missing from a resort in the country over the weekend, and a search operation is underway. More than 150 people are involved in the search for the 15-year-old who has special needs, along with a helicopter and sniffer dogs. In a statement, her family said she's not capable of taking care of herself. An Irish teenager is fighting for his life in hospital after he fell from a wall in Lanzarote. The accident happened in the early hours of yesterday morning in the popular holiday resort of Puerto del Carmen. It's understood the 15-year-old suffered serious head injuries after falling around 15 feet. A police investigation is underway in Lanzarote. In the UK, a 17-year-old boy has been remanded in custody, charged with attempting to murder a child at an art gallery in London. The 6-year-old French national was visiting the Tate Modern on Sunday afternoon with his family when he was allegedly thrown from the 10th floor. He remains in a critical but stable condition. Sky's Inzam Rashid says a teenager's made a brief appearance at Bromley Youth Court.
He was told that he would be appearing at the Central Criminal Court, the Old Bailey, this Thursday for the first hearing, and then the trial will begin on the 22nd of August.
There was a small increase in the live register in Waterford during the month of July. There's now 7,423 people signing on in the city and county. That's an increase of 202 since the end of June. However, the figure is more than 11% lower than July of last year, when 8,378 people were signing on. The live register typically increases during June and July each year as college courses and school terms come to an end. Downing Street insists the UK is ready and willing to do a deal to leave the European Union if Brussels renegotiates. Reports say EU officials now think Britain is focused on leaving without an agreement. Boris Johnson denies that's his central plan, but wants European officials to show they'd be willing to move their position before negotiations can restart. European Commission spokesperson Annika Breithart says their position is clear.
We have agreed the withdrawal agreement with the UK government. The deal we have achieved is the best possible deal. And we're always willing to add language to the political declaration, but we will not reopen the withdrawal agreement.
Waterford is one of 13 local authorities to get funding to prepare social housing sites around the country. Housing Minister Owen Murphy's approved €84 million for 1,770 affordable homes nationally under the Serviced Sites Fund. It's the first stage of projects approved with plans to run the scheme until 2021. Local authorities must give a portion of the funding. Waterford City and County Council say they welcome the Minister's announcement, and they say the full details of the proposed scheme in Waterford, once finalised, will be advertised locally.
WLR Sport.
Thanks to Boland's Hyundai Waterford. Preview the award-winning 192 Hyundai range. See bolands.com.
Waterford FC today start preparations for their FAI Cup, a game away to Maynooth University Town. That's on Sunday next at 3 p.m. Their 10-year wait for a League Cup final place continues following a 4-2 defeat to Derry City at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium last night. Walter Figueroa, who was making his debut for the Blues, scored twice, while David Parkhouse, who's on loan from Sheffield United, scored 4 times for Derry. He's now scored 6 goals against Waterford FC within the space of 7 days. Waterford FC first team coach Fran Rocket says he's a very good centre forward.
We probably struggled to deal with him at times, you know, and you have to stop the supply line to him. I think that's the number one thing you have to try and do, and listen, he's a bit of magic, but it's no coincidence he's in the right area at the right time, so fair play to him, he's doing very well, but we have to look at ourselves and say we have to stop that supply line, you know.
Derby County Chairman Mel Morris is confident Wayne Rooney will join them as a player coach from DC United. The former Manchester United and England captain has arrived at their training ground for talks with the Championship side, despite having 2 years left on his contract in the US. Morris believes his club can help Rooney transition into management like they did with former boss Frank Lampard.
Well, it's part of our ambition, of course, is to try and be a club that's progressive, to try and help obviously young players develop, but also again with Frank we had a great opportunity there. We had a great season with Frank and he's done a great deal for this club, and this is obviously another opportunity we'd like to try and get in place as well.
Kildare County Board say there's no decision yet on the appointment of their next senior football manager. 3-time All-Ireland winning boss with Kerry, Jack O'Connor, is being heavily linked with the position vacated last month by Cian O'Neill. O'Connor's sons, Cian and Éanna, both currently play for Moorfield. Kerry's David Clifford is fit to face Tyrone in Sunday's All-Ireland Senior Football semi-final at Croke Park. The star forward missed the Kingdom's Super 8's win at Meath last weekend with a back injury, but manager Peter Keane says he's ready to return to the team. In ladies football, the Tipperary Association have asked the Camogie Association and the Ladies Football Association to work together ahead of a fixtures clash on Saturday week. As things stand, Tip dual player Orla O'Dwyer must choose between lining out for the Premier's Camogie team in their All-Ireland Senior semi-final against Kilkenny or playing for their ladies football team in an All-Ireland Intermediate Last Four clash with Sligo. Tipperary say they're willing to change their fixture with Sligo in order to allow O'Dwyer to play both games. There's racing at Roscommon today, with the first off at 5:40. In sports news on WLR, brought to you by Boland's Waterford.